when the ombudsperson put it in her report, her final report yesterday, that on March 12th, 2020, it's only at that point that the health ministry sent to CIUS and CIS like a general guideline, a general guide about long-term care facilities. What's the problem with you with the contradictions that you can see with what was said last week at the coroner's inquiry?
I'm really preoccupied by that because we have two versions here. We have the government saying we acted early on January, and then the Protecteur du Citoyen who's saying they only acted in March. There's a big problem there. It's difficult to trust the government when there are such contradictions.
But when you say that, people at home, why should they be worried about this, those contradictions?
Because a lot of people died, and we have to know why, we have to know the truth. And when we have a government that is saying things that are denied by the other inquiries, independent inquiries, it makes us doubt on the value of what the government is saying, and that is really problematic because it doesn't. It's difficult to trust them after that. It's difficult to trust that they will act in a better way next time, and that's why we want a national inquiry on this that would not only inquire on CHSLDs, but also on the whole gestion of the pandemic.
You want to provoke a 2-hour debate in the Blue Room, in the National Assembly this afternoon about this public and independent inquiry. What are you trying to achieve? Because in about an hour from now, Danielle McCann will explain herself in Evelyn Zuma. So what are you trying to get there if basically Danielle McCann will try to justify and explain herself?
We want to convince them that it's really important for all Quebec to have a national inquiry on the whole gestion of the pandemic, because we have to learn lessons in every aspect of it. We don't only need new information and lessons about CHSLDs. We need to know what we could have done better in education, for example, and in all other aspects of the public services in Quebec. We have to know all about this because we have to be prepared for another pandemic that could come in a couple of years. We don't know. We have to be ready.
Danielle McCann, are you expecting her to apologize for the confusion, for the contradictions that we hear since last week?
She should certainly explain herself and maybe apologize for the confusion also, because there is confusion, and she has a responsibility in that. So we want to, what we want to hear is the truth. Maybe we want to hear some admissions of responsibility that would give us trust, maybe, because right now what we have seen is a government that is denying responsibilities and insulting the oppositions, and that's not a way a prime minister should react.